Sweet, so I'll get started then. All right, we're gonna go live in 3, 2, 1. Yep, we have just started a stream here on Versa Media on YouTube. We're all gonna be talking about, of course, the big news, and we're not gonna be on here much longer. I think whenever you join YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, doesn't matter who you are, there's an expiration date on your account. And the big man lost his account today. So I think the first thing we need to say is if you want to stay in touch with us, follow us on every single alternative there is. So yes, we're on Twitter at Versa News Media. Yes, we're on Facebook with Versa Media, but we're also on Gab. We're also on Parler at Versa or Versa Media. I fucking forget, but the links are in the description. So if you look in the description, the links are all there. I don't remember because I haven't touched Gab in decades. Probably got dust on that account, but follow us on all of them. And honestly, we also have a Telegram channel too. That's linked below too. First things first, if you give a shit about anybody in your circles, any of your followers, get their emails, get their phone numbers right now. Don't rely on anything else because phone numbers you can put on a spreadsheet, emails you can put on a spreadsheet. Yeah, I know the accounts can technically be banned, but hey, it's better than nothing at this point. Phone numbers they can't take away from you. That's the number one thing to get. Get every phone number and every email possible. That is my public service announcement because we're all getting fucked right now. I mean, I have on the screen here every major ban, and these are only the major ones. Brand Straka, banned from Facebook. Sidney Powell, banned from Twitter. Team Trump, the campaign account, banned from Twitter. General Flynn, banned from Twitter. And I think Rush left Twitter because it doesn't say account suspended. But of course, the biggest one was the President of the United States. Twitter is so evil, they banned the President of the United States. And this is a historic day. This is the biggest big tech purge ever. There are people losing thousands of followers. Thousands. Cassandra Fairbanks lost 10,000. I personally, on my small little account of 125 followers, went down to I think 118.
No,
in one
I
day.
went down. I was at 152. I am down to what the fuck? I think it's like 120 now.
Yeah.
I think it's 120 now. Yeah, somewhere along those lines. Anyway,
thousands are being banned. Thousands. I would love to know the actual number. How many did you lose, Sam?
Well, I have to tell you, I've lost a bunch of YouTube subscribers. I was at like 730 like last week, and then this week I dropped down to like 115. Finally got back up to 721 today because I had on a bigger YouTuber on my channel earlier. And then Twitter, like, I think I've lost like 60 followers today, which,
wow.
Granted, I have over 1,000, but you know, still, the 60 that I lost, some of those were actually people that I would use Twitter DMs to talk to. And I have no way of contacting them because they never gave me their contact info. So, yeah, I know people want their privacy, with phone numbers and whatnot. I understand not wanting to get doxxed. I get that. But if you're using these tools as, a communication thing, first off, don't use Twitter as more of like a thing to put stuff out in the ether, and then use texting or Signal for like messages and whatnot. Because otherwise you could lose connection with a whole bunch of people. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. As I said on my Twitter page, I am leaving Twitter. Like I am dropping my Twitter page. I'm done. I'm done with Twitter. Um, I have to be honest because I really was thinking about this all day. Um, and seeing what they've done to the president, obviously that had a monumental impact on my decision. But I had to start thinking about it. And the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I realized that, like, by me staying on the platform, I I've become more of the problem than I am the solution, right? Because I know because we as people are supposed to be making, you know, logical decisions, and logical decisions are you're making you're making the best decisions with the information that's in front of you, right? That's what a logical decision is. And um we've known that Twitter has been censoring people for fucking years, right? We've known this. They've done it to Alex Jones, they've done it to Milo, they've done it to Gavin McInnes, they've done it to so many people long before today happened. And so many people just decided, and myself included. Look, I'm to blame. I am partially to blame for that. Um, and so today I had to ask myself, well, am I part of the problem or am I part of the solution? Well, if I'm staying on this, if I'm staying on the same fucking platform, then I'm kind of part of the problem. So for me, the right choice for me now is, to get off Twitter. I'll be on Gab. Don't worry. I'll be saying stupid shit on Gab. I'll be saying, look, hey, you know me. I'm not going to change. My personality doesn't change. I just have to change. I just have to change the venue. And I'm not liking. I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, yeah, I know there's others out there. I know there's other outlets out there. I don't. I sure as hell don't trust Facebook. I don't trust. I'm not sure. Parlor did okay, but I'm like, they use an outside they use an outside web service for their fucking site. Like they're using an outside web service for their platform, and I'm like, what? That you're not. But look, you're not really part of the. Again, you're not really part of the solution because we're seeing outside companies, we're seeing web companies, we're seeing financial companies, we're seeing social media companies. They're all censoring. And so the reason that I'm on Gab, because at least I mean, yeah, grant you, it's not as big of a site. It's not as big of a, there's there's some problems here and there, and I know right now they're crashing left and right because there's so many people running to the fucking site. But at the same time, they're at least using their own servers. They're at least they're at least building their shit to where there are alternatives, and there's there's privacy. There's a lot better privacy fixtures on their shit than I mean I have to and this is a decision I have to make. And look, and I've gotten shit from friends. My own friends are saying, I don't know. But this is one of those things I got to make. This is one of those decisions I got to make. I have to ask myself I have to look at myself in the mirror and go, am I part of the solution or am I part of the problem? If I stay on Twitter, I'm part of the problem. So I got to get off of Twitter. On the bright side, Dictator Phil's back.
Apex Gamma says in chat, and he does bring up a good point. he thinks that maybe Gab will cuck if they get too big, and he's willing to bet money on it.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. But one thing I know for sure, they're right. They're doing it. They're free speeching it right now. Okay. Who knows? And I mean, yeah, look, he could be right. Look, Apex could be absolutely correct. Okay. Because there's a cycle, you know. Look, because Twitter and Facebook sold themselves off the bullshit that they're pro free speech and all that, blah 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 blah, and then only to find out that they're shady pieces of shit like everybody else, right? But like, you know, but I got to go with what I got to go with, you know, and
Well, and I respect your decision. I'm talking about, like, okay, so like for me personally, I'm sticking with, I'm staying on Twitter, but I'm doing I'm doing what I started doing really last year in 2020, which is basically dump and run. Meaning, basically the only thing I use Twitter for now is basically to share links to the live streams, share links to the audio podcast, links when I post those, and then there's an automated newsletter thing that combines news feeds from a couple of websites I follow, and that auto posts each morning and each evening, and I don't even do that, and that's it. I used to have a community of people I would talk to on Twitter, but again they're getting banned. So really, other than just posting my stuff, there's, I don't use Twitter, to socialize. And then more often than not, if I'm just bored during the day and I have some time, or if I'm waiting at the bus stop or something, I'll just check Twitter to see what the what the approved people are saying, and who I get to mock that day. So
Yeah, I understand why you did what you did, Phil. The way I look at it is these platforms are like, they're not, like I said, you have an expiration date on you, but use it while you can, because you can get a lot of followers, you can spread a lot of shit. It may get shadow banned, you will get banned, but use it while you can to maybe change some hearts and minds and get some people to see a different opinion. Because that's what Twitter used to be about, was that there were all these different people and there were all these different opinions, and there was a lot of fighting and there was a lot of debating, a lot of conversations, a lot of shit going on, but it was everything. It's going to become already what it's been sort of growing as, which is just a approved echo chamber. Who doesn't have a blue check mark? Well, it is on the naughty list. And when you have a check mark, you'll stay on the platform for a little bit and then eventually get banned if you say something too edgy. But of the alternatives we have, so what do we have? We have Minds, Gab, and Parler. Those are the three major ones that are Twitter alternative. Minds is pretty much dead. It's decent-ish, but it's dead.
Mine.
Nobody's on it.
Let me just say something on Minds real quick. Minds actually, in terms of UI and look, actually has, in my opinion, the best look. The problem with Minds is that when Minds started, they got into they got into making their own crypto currency, which is mine coins, and nobody knew what crypto was back then when they started, and a lot of people still don't want to get involved with crypto, so they screwed themselves over with that. And then Gab has the problem of, and I hate to bring this up with Gab because people say, well, you can customize it and filter it out, but again, there are a lot of people on Gab who say the N word, and the K word and other, you know, shit that I don't want to, you know, see on my phone like every
Mm-hmm.
other post. And yeah, I mean, Dictator Phil, you mentioned this off air. Yeah, you can filter that shit, and yeah, it may be worth it, but like but in order to do that, like you've got to do like some heavy, you know, wading through before you put it on like your home screen or you know anything that you want to take out like you know in public or something like that.
Yeah, Gab, while I think, yeah, you're right, mine has a really good UI. Gab has a really good UI too, and it feels like more like a finished product, feels up to date, whereas Parler feels like it's 10 years old. Parler has a terrible infrastructure. It crashes every time a
Fucking
few people
terrible.
join it. It still looks dated, and it feels incomplete. It doesn't have trending topics really laid out well. It doesn't
It
have
feels like they bought. It feels like they bought the site from fucking Wix and then put it on AWS. That's
yeah.
what it feels like. It's just like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I like the idea, but like, like you realize you're competing. Like, you have to be like, if you're gonna compete, if you're gonna provide the anti-Twitter or the anti-Facebook, you have to at least be somewhat similar to Facebook or Twitter, man. I don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck this shit is.
Yeah.
Like, and like, yeah, I just I liked I liked what Dan Bongino tried to do. The execution was just a little bit not great.
Yeah.
So
That's where they always fail, is the execution. I mean, Gab, I think I don't want to completely take it off the table yet because it has so much going for it. It just needs to fix a few things to be a platform that works. The biggest
Yeah.
problem that it can't fix, this is something other people have to fix, is who's on it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
So
the difference with Biab and Parler really is the donors. Okay,
right.
the donor money's behind Parler. They have
Mhm.
CPAC booth. They have big people on there that normally don't care about these things, but they're on there.
Mhm.
And these people bring an audience with
Yeah.
them. Okay. When you're on Gab, it was just when it first started, and I forget how old my account is. It's probably 2017.
yeah,
2016, shit. September 2016. It was even before election day.
Mhm.
Um, this site was just filled with the cool band people and Nazis. And
Mhm.
now it's a lot more cooler, normal people, but still a lot of Nazis. And that's what you get
Mhm.
inundated with. And I'm 100% for free speech. Don't get me wrong, but they need to find a way to make it attractive to normies. They either need to have it filtered when you first join it, and then you can like turn a switch on and have it totally unfiltered. Something like that to make it attractive to the normies. Because the biggest problem with every fucking alternative at the end of the day is it's not attractive to normies. And if the normies aren't there, if your celebrities aren't there, it's not going to be a big player. But what it can be, which is terrible, but that's unfortunately the world we're going to end up in, is an echo chamber for all the conservatives. And that's what
yep,
whatever the alternative is going to be. And that's what Parler really has become. Parler is the best bet right now. It's just, I don't know what the fuck is going
Yeah,
on
but
there. It's so
yeah, but
frustrating because
like
it's
it's on
dated.
AW, like so it's on another web service, and I think one of the execs for Parler just went on Fox News, I think today or yesterday, and
I saw
basically
that.
said, look, if this web service pulls our shit, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Not those words exactly, but yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, I mean you built your entire like that was your plan, like your foundational plan was shit, like at least, and again, at least Gab has their own infrastructure, they have their
Yeah.
own foundation, okay,
Yeah.
that's not, I can't say that about some of these other sites. And so when you put yourself on those other sites, it encourages those big fucking oligarchies to really, you know, clamp down on you. And Parler, look, Parler, I think Parler's fucked. I
Well-
do. And I mean, unless they would, the amount of, they would need to make some serious fucking changes. And I don't know if they can make them quick enough. Because
Yeah.
they're pricey too. Those decisions are pricey as fuck too. So
Yep. That's what I'm worried about, is because technically they could change hosts and servers overnight. They technically could. But like I said, I was one of the early adopters of Parler in 2018.
Same here.
And the site hasn't changed much. It's still terribly like dated looking and totally behind. I mean, it's like after 2 years of this site, I would imagine it would be up to speed of Gab, but it simply isn't. Gab is light years ahead. And Gab, I've been on for 4 years, and people are gonna say, "Whoa, you know, there you go. It's 2 years older." Well, yeah, but Gab doesn't have the money Parler does. It doesn't have all that money that could literally just be used so much more effectively. And I don't know what's going on, because I think it comes down to who's running these. I don't think the guy running Parler honestly is that competent or is that passionate or something. I know the guy.
no,
Yeah,
look, the guy who runs Gab is super passionate. Like you
a
can
little
tell.
too passionate.
He's
a
very
little crazy.
passionate. Like very, very passionate.
Yeah, I
I
do
but
worry
look,
though, because he's a little
I
crazy.
like it. I like it. I mean, yeah, does he say some eccentric shit from time to time? Yeah. But no, I like it. I like the passion. I do like the passion. And he's fighting for something that's not, you know, that's above the standard bearer, you know, which is money, right? He's not really, it doesn't look like he's really, I mean, of course, and like Sam said, that could fucking change like within the week, but like I mean, I have to go with what's up right now, you know, and look, and the fact that look, we have to take part of us has to take personal responsibility for what's happening this week, right? We have to take personal responsibility. We have allowed these companies to get way too big, way too intrusive, way too like, and all for the sake of convenience. This is what we've done, right? And we could make excuses all we want, and some of them are valid, but like, but we've traded, like we've made that trade-off, and it's not for, and it wasn't for the better, right? But with that said, look, and I'm guilty. Look, I'm guilty of it. Okay, I'm showing humility right now, telling you, for up until now, I've been part of the problem, right? And so the best thing I can do now is change it. Like when I see something and I've done wrong, okay, and I've, you know, the best thing I can do is change, you know, to change course. And this is how I do it. This is the steps on how I do it, right? I don't know. I look, and maybe Gab sells out. Maybe there's another site that comes along down the road or whatever. But I have to make the best logical decision that I can make, and that logical decision is fuck Twitter, basically.
Well,
that.
Well, so Apex brings up a good point. The forefathers wanted to solve this, and Ron Paul was warning us for decades. And Apex,
He did.
In Apex,
literally.
Apex
Is the.
I hear.
By the way,
I
Apex
hear
is the
you.
man. Okay, Apex is the man.
Hey,
all right.
Where by the way, Apex, we're in the Versus server, so if you want to come in and, you know, be a gamma, do it in here.
But we've known for years. We've known all of this shit. It was going to happen for years.
Well, isn't this
we
kind
knew
of
it?
ironic, though? We're all on Discord, which does the same shit, and we're bitching about other people like being on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nervous. Look, yeah, we're on Discord. I'm nervous as fuck about Discord. Right.
Well, hell,
right now.
Well, hell, I'm on my second. Or rather, I should say, I'm not on my second Discord.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Account.
You're not on Discord.
Well, you guys are. I'm not. My ghost is of the account that Discord, killed. But
Honestly,
so
they have any Discord alternatives out there that are like worth a damn.
Eh,
they do. I know of some, but then again, I know some people who are into coding. So basically, like, basically a lot. There are open source softwares that you can use, but you have to code them by hand and shit like that. So,
oh God, that's
um,
user friendly.
well, I mean, the guy I know knows how to make it user friendly, but yeah, still, it's Now, to El Jefe's point, he's been saying that we need to find a YouTube alternative, and to that, what do you think I've been doing since 2019, El Jefe?
We've been doing this shit for the law, but like we've been researching, like dude, Sean, myself, Alex, we've been all looking at like weighing alternatives, like we just had a conversation today about it. Like
Yeah,
there's nothing like we're trying to make the best decision, not just like.
Yeah,
And I know because there's a lot of options. Not a lot of them are really, I don't want to say good, but like
none of them
well,
are good, frankly. I'll put it that way.
well,
I
and
mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
It's not that bad, but you just
or
can't.
develop to
this
the
shit
point,
is
or not,
shit.
just develop to the point where it would be a good fit, right? It'd be developed like because we still have we still got a lot of sites out there that are still trying to develop into something like anything.
well,
And
I do want to address D Live real quick though, because Fat Cake Boy, and I love you, Fat Cake Boy, I do, but D Live has actually recently, in fact, Davey mentioned this on the stream earlier today, that D Live sent something out, and I checked this. They just sent something out basically saying not to talk about, conspiracy elections. So,
No, it's Eli's cocked. I mean, they banned Alex Jones,
yeah.
so you
So,
know. But here's a big but. This is why I say that platform's a little, I made
yeah.
it simple, but he was a little nuanced. Nick Fuentes is still on there. If they're banning
Yeah.
Alex, but they're keeping Nick on, I,
Well,
shrug.
Nobody bitched enough about Nick Fuentes to kick him off yet.
well,
He's gonna
They
probably
but
have
kicked him
to.
off YouTube.
but
They got
that
him off YouTube. I don't know how he's still on Twitter, and I don't know how he's still on D Live, but he's on them.
yes.
Sometimes it's inconsistent,
Ye-
but I think that his time will come. He might actually get banned soon. Wouldn't surprise me if he gets banned from Twitter soon. But,
It when it's
D Live's a good alternative for live streaming. I will say it's the best alternative for live streaming, but come with it knowing you're not gonna last.
well, and you say that Nick Fuentes is safe on there now, but who knows? He might get
Not for
banned.
long.
He might get banned. He might get banned in like an hour. He might. He
Yeah.
might get banned while we're on this live stream. He might get banned over the weekend.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to even mention some of the other bans that happened. Steve Bannon was banned on YouTube.
Yep.
His podcast and show that's on Newsmax called War Room Pandemic banned. There were a few others I'm trying to remember. Oh, the Parler app. Google banned the Parler app from the Play Store. Apple will ban it in under 24 hours. I mean, unless something changes, they're going to ban it. So, and the same thing is with Gab. The Gab app's banned. So it's like, yeah, you can make your alternative, but your app's banned. So just make your own app store at that point, right? Oh, they ban your app store. Yeah, just
I
make
just
your own internet at that point.
like
It's like
Parlor
this
pisses
is
me
a
off.
bad cycle.
Parlor
and yes,
pisses
Apex.
me the fuck
I
off.
encourage you to join in if you want to. So
Yeah, Parlor pisses me the fuck off, right?
It does
It really pisses me off. I mean,
because it's
Parlor
such wasted potential.
like
Not even that. They require you to like verify your fucking identity like 12 different ways. You thought Facebook was
that's some AWS shit too. Like, but anyway,
Oh, really?
yeah, like multiple MFA.
Hmm.
I'm just like you knew Like these weren't fucking secrets either. Like they're up fucked river because one, the Apple's threatening to kick them off their fucking platform, and B, their web services site is threatening to fucking to boot their shit too. And it's like, did you not see what happened to these other people? Like what
Yeah.
they literally had the playbook. They had the playbook in front of them. Like
And this didn't take any guessing. I mean, look, I've been over this a million times, but I think it needs to be said again. Patient zero of when this became something conservatives talked about was Milo. Of course, this actually technically all started with Andrew Anglin, the Daily Stormer, when they were banned by their hosting site, and then 8chan too. But really, patient zero in the public side was Milo. And then quickly came Laura Loomer, Gavin McGinnis, Roger Stone, and then the big one was Alex Jones when every single Silicon Valley oligarch and big tech within a few hours eliminated him from the internet. He took him out everywhere on things you didn't even know he was on. It was a coordinated hit. And what happened after that? Okay. We all complained. We all bitched. We all moaned. Alex even went to the freaking Senate hearings and heckled Marco Rubio over it. And Marco Rubio just laughed at him. He laughed at him and called him a crazy conspiracy theorist, basically. And Alex told him to go back to his bathhouse, which was hilarious. But and then you had Laura Loomer disrupt one of the Senate hearings to make people wake up on this. And it's like, we've been saying this and we've known that Trump would get banned. We knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when.
And they knew it. And here's the thing. We knew that if you we knew that these companies had the ability and were going to censor them because they did it to Alex Jones, right? Now say what you want about Alex Jones. We got a whole mix of opinions about Alex Jones, but
he's my
here's
spirit
the thing.
animal.
Here's the thing, right? Gay frogs and all that shit. Lizard people and all that. All right, now I'm fucking digressing here. Now, but we knew because they did it with Alex Jones. Financial companies fucking went after Alex Jones. The web services sites went after Alex Jones. Fucking Apple, all that shit. They all went after his site. They all went after InfoWars, right? You got the fucking blueprint on how they were going to handle that shit. Okay. And then what does Parler do? They still fucking do the same shit, right? It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well,
yeah, it's like we knew because of this that big tech was clearly, I mean, they're in Silicon Valley, California. What fucking more evidence do you need already there? But we clearly knew from leaked memos, from Project Veritas videos, that they were biased against conservatives. I'm sorry, Hunter Avallone. The evidence is there. It's pretty clear. Oh, they also banned Sargon. I can't forget him. They banned all these people. They're all conservatives. Oh, but they banned Louis Farrakhan, the one lefty who hates Jews. Okay, yeah, you got one to save face. But they banned all these people, and you're like, wow, would they ban Trump? Yeah, of course they would. We've been talking about it. If we know it and we don't know anything compared to some of these people that know everything, I mean, what does it take? And Parler knew too before this. They knew it someday Trump was going to join their platform. They knew it was coming, and they knew they weren't already being able to handle the traffic they were getting now. When Parler started trending on Twitter, when other people were getting banned and moving to Parler or joining it, there were many times, I remember it, I would go on Parler, it wouldn't work. I'm like, why isn't it working? I see my other conservative people saying, yeah, lots of people joining, can't handle it. Well, shit, what do you think's going to happen when the president gets banned? You guys aren't going to be ready for it. I mean, we were saying this yesterday. They're not going to be ready for this. And they weren't. Of course they weren't. Gab wasn't even ready for it. And Gab has a better infrastructure, a way better infrastructure. So this is the problem with the alternatives, is they all suck, but it's all we have left. So
It's
we
literally
got to
all
do
we have left.
I-
All on the bright side. Okay, so on the bright side, there's definitely one silver lining.
Oh, no, there's a lot of silver linings here.
Well, yeah, that's true. But the main one that I'm talking about is that Twitter stock was down 5% today. At the end of the day, Twitter stock went down like 5%. Almost 4% of it was after hours, like the after hours after the bell, which, and I mean, it was just a straight, like you look at the chart, and right at the end of the day, it was just a straight fucking dip, right? It was just a straight dip, and it was such a beautiful sight. But anyway, so this is why I thought, and I was telling people, this is why I thought that Twitter decided to do this today more than any other day, was because for stock reasons, right? Because they wanted to make sure that they did it on Friday to be able to absorb whatever fucking temporary stock hit was going to happen. And then in hopes that, you know, the movers and shakers in Wall Street are going to forget about that shit by Monday. But the kicker is, Trump could really fuck them in the ass if he announces, like, say he announces on Monday, oh, I'm going to either Gab or Parler, right? Now, of course, we said, can the infrastructure handle it? Whatever. We don't look, but that doesn't matter. In the eyes of the New York Stock Exchange, it doesn't fucking matter, right?
Yeah. It's just the announcement alone.
They're looking at anticipated growth, right? And so what happens? The Donald Trump accounts for basically half of Twitter's traffic, right? You just booted him. You just booted half your fucking traffic off your shit, right? Right, you're done. And as soon as that traffic goes somewhere else, your stock's going to take a beating, right? It's going to take a ass whooping, right? And maybe that's how you got to do it. Maybe that's how you got to. Maybe that's how you got to hit them.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
one thing I'll bring up, because I don't know if anybody's seen this yet, is the president then started trying to tweet out, since obviously he's banned on his personal account. He started trying to tweet out on the @post account, which is the government account for the president, and he starts tweeting stuff out, and Twitter would instantly delete it because they could tell it was him. And they're banning this is the thing I remember with these bans. They're not banning accounts, they're not banning pages, they're banning people. They're saying you cannot use our service. Doesn't matter how you do it, you can't use it. But when he did do it, I put on the screen so everybody can see the censored messages. He did say on here, we will not be silenced. Twitter is not about free speech. They're all promoting a radical platform, blah, blah, blah. And he says, we have been negotiating with various other sites and we'll have a big announcement soon. While we also look at the possibilities of building out our own platform in the near future. And I'm going to throw a little prediction out there. I think if Gab and Parler get banned from the app stores and are still kind of shit, or not up to the caliber they need to be, I think Trump will literally build his own or get somebody to build one for him and the follower and the right.
Matter if they just kick it off the app stores. You know, it's going to be this cat and mouse game.
Yeah, I know. I know that's the problem, but I think that's what's going to end up happening regardless. I'm not saying it's a smart thing or it's how it should happen, but that's what I'm just saying. I think that's what could happen. Probably will happen.
The only way around this is to get people to just start using like your fucking web browser to do things.
Yes.
Yep.
Honestly, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad idea. Or just using an Android. If you have an Android device, you can.
But there's a big problem with that. Is it's inconvenient to normies. Like everybody downloads an app for every service. I know we can easily adapt to that. Most people cannot. I know it sounds silly, but trust me, getting people to do it's going to be difficult.
And Sean's right. I mean, Sean and I are both marketing, majors, and Yeah, it's not.
That's how I look at it from. It's a marketing thing.
It's
You
not
know,
gonna
it's how do you
happen.
sell this to the normies?
I mean, I think it'll start. I think it could start out that way, but you could set your I mean, you could set your browser up to have it on your shit. Like I've already set it up. I've already set up my Gab, so that way if once I turn up, I can turn on my browser. I can press one button and boom, I'm there, and I'm already signed in and everything.
Well,
Like
and what you can also do is if you are on the website, when you go to the share button, you can add it to your home screen. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
like an app. But the thing is, it still doesn't feel as nice as an app. And maybe people will adopt to it eventually. Maybe they'll adapt to it. Maybe. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying that's a huge hurdle. The convenience thing is major. It's really the make or break thing. Can people do it? They might be able to. They might. They might, but it's going to be hard. But the good thing is, again, Milo said this on our show, and he's 100% right. This is the best thing that happened, what happened today. As terrible as it feels, and as dark as these days are going to be, there was light at the end of the tunnel because you needed to accelerate this. You needed the normies banned. You need the mainstream people banned. You need the president banned for change to happen and for something to happen. Because look how it's been. Nothing's happened. And it's because of not necessarily Trump, but these establishment rhinos in Congress that didn't give a shit.
Wait, you know what we need to do is we need to get fucking Ben Shapiro banned.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want Ben banned. I want Steven Crowder banned. I want all those people banned. When Ben gets banned, then that's an issue. Then it's like, we gotta use my Hollywood money to make something.
Well, here's the thing. You joke about that, but believe me, there are leftists. There are people on my Facebook page who think that Ben is alt-right. And I know that sounds laughable to us, but there are there are people who I'm friends with on Facebook, who I went to high school with, who seriously think that Ben Shapiro is like I shit you not, Jewish alt-right. That's what they call him. So, it may happen, and that may be when people finally wake up. I mean, look, I'm seeing reports too that Rush got banned off Twitter. He didn't. He pulled a dictator Phil and nuked.
Yeah.
So did Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller actually nuked his Twitter account like a month ago, and his reasoning was that they were going, because he's been harassed for being a conservative podcaster.
Lou Dobson did too. Lou Dobson just said he's moving to Parler. He's shutting off his Twitter account.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, that's another thing that needs to happen too. And I think it's I do respect when people like us leave in principle, but really you need the big celebrities leaving. You need people that the normies like and the lefties like. When the lefties start getting banned, which is next, after all the conservatives are gone, they just left with the milquetoast ones. They're going to get rid of the edgy lefties, if there even are some. But like comedians will get banned. That's good. That's what you really need to get the normies to start giving a shit. And if you get them booted and you get major celebrities leaving in protests and setting off a chain reaction, that's good too. That's what you really need.
Well, I don't think I really knew you guys yet when this happened, but do you guys remember when I got banned from Facebook, or was that when I got temporarily?
That was before our time.
Okay, so this just shows how crazy the ban culture is. So back in 2018 or like early 2018, it was right after the Louis C.K. thing, when he admitted to his thing in the New York Times or whatever. I went on there and I posted, look, I don't condone what Louis C.K. did, but I'm still a fan of his comedy. I still think he's hilarious, and I'm still gonna buy his stand-up special if he ever does come back. And I said, and to be honest, I said the people who are unliking his page over this are pussies because you guys know what type of content he puts out. So that got banned, that got deleted, and I got suspended from Facebook for promoting lewd sexual behavior.
How long were you banned?
I was banned for like 2 days, but still.
Alex beat your record.
Yeah, I was banned for 6 months for liking a Breitbart article. Didn't even post anything.
Yep. And I know Apex is saying the normies aren't getting banned, but Alex got banned. I'm not calling you normie, Alex, but you know what I mean by the terminology, the average Joe.
I don't post on Facebook. Like I like stuff and I do a comment, but it was for none of those. As soon as I hit the react button to a Breitbart article comparing George Floyd to Jesus Christ, and I put an angry face because I thought that was, offensive as a Roman Catholic.
Yes.
To compare this guy to Jesus Christ, and to compare anyone is offensive enough to Jesus, but especially making something so political, such a political move. I did an angry react article to a news article without posting a single fucking letter, and that was enough to get me suspended for until the day after the election, which I predicted.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're 100% right. Apex says, I meant this most recent purge. No, this recent purge was hitting everyone, dude. Thousands were banned. Thousands. It's not just the big people, it's little people too. It's a historic purge. It's the biggest purge ever on big tech. But this is my, again, free speech, more important than ever before now.
According to Parler, or according to Sean Hannity, President Trump just joined Parler.
Yeah, I posted that in the Discord. That was a few hours ago.
Yeah. Oh.
It's potentially true because there is an account that is his. It's reserved. It was created 15 hours ago, I think, or 11 hours ago. I'd have to check.
Well, Gab did that too, right?
What was that?
Gab did that too.
Gab reserved a handle for him, and I think Parr did the same thing, but there was an account created recently called @theofficialPOTUS, and I'm from what I've read, that's his account that he recently created. So we'll see. We shall see.
But the second, So if I was Donald Trump, right? Or President Trump, I'm sorry.
Yes. Still a few more days.
Yeah, if I was President Trump, I don't make my first Gab or parlay until Monday. Monday's when I drop the first bomb, and I do it right, and I would do it right at 9:30 when the fucking market opens on Monday. Right on 9:30.
Bitches, I'm back.
Boom, and I'm telling you, it'll rip the scab again right off of Twitter. Right?
Have you guys seen all the? I will admit that there is some comedy in this. Have you guys seen all the that like a bunch of people have just changed their Twitter handles and
well, there are people that have changed their profile pictures to Trump's Twitter profile picture. I'm tempted to do that.
Yeah,
no, I had to change mine to something a little bit different. But,
yours was good. Yeah. Is your account deleted yet?
No, I'm about to do that here.
Before you do, I want to pull it up and then refresh it so that it's there and it's gone. Clap on, clap off.
Yeah.
So time out. Speaking of comedy, in these times, which by the way, hello, gentlemen.
Apex,
good evening.
Happy New Year.
Welcome back.
Shut up, Sammy. Shut up, all of you. I'm trying to say something. I'm gonna forget.
Just a vow.
If whoever is running Joe Biden's Twitter account had a brain or even a minutia of a sense of humor, they would tweet "law and order" in all capital letters.
That.
Yeah, that made me laugh so fucking. Just the idea made me laugh so hard.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've been in the Discord for a minute, but you know, I tend to talk too much and lose my point and just ramble. So I can do it better with text. So, but
You
yeah.
you were saying
Good evening and happy New Year to all of you. I was just kidding, by the way. It's nice to talk to
Mhm.
you all. Sammy, I think I've spoken to you
yeah, we have.
since the New Year.
You were
Yeah, okay,
said
so
you were saying though, I wish you guys could hear yourselves, and I'm wondering if you meant like literally or
yeah,
metaphorically.
that was no, like literally. And I mean, I realize the context wasn't lost on me, but the way you guys were describing the people you want to get banned and for like
Yeah,
the perceived
ban 'em all.
benefit that you saw in it, like you want like these people in that person to get banned so that other people would you know, like you have the idea that if these people get banned for no reason, normies will care and it will make a difference, but
Yeah.
it won't.
Look at what's happening
Because
now.
it
People are actually
won't
giving a shit
though.
and talking about this ban because Trump is getting banned. You need to make people feel it. If it's not in their backyard, if it's not affecting them, they don't give a shit. Look at the people in Congress. Josh Hawley. Oh, big tech censorship's bad. Doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, now that his book is not going to get published on big tech censorship. Oh, now he's pursuing legal action. Times have
I'm sorry.
changed. You know,
I'm
it's
sorry,
like,
but as Trump supporters for the last 4+ years, has there not been a censorship issue throughout and preceding Trump's administration?
We've had
Things that he
yeah,
multiple. Yeah,
nothing changed.
you,
What's
you that
changed?
nothing
that's the
changed.
point.
You know
President
what
All of
Trump.
us.
changed? Listen, you
Yeah,
know what
'cause
changed is they finally fucking banned him. Now he is the president of the fucking United States. I'm not arguing the the precedents, but they have been wanting this. They've been the whole fucking radical left has been calling for this for 4 years. Get him off of fucking Twitter. Get him away from his fucking people. And we, the little fucks on the ground who have been getting, I'm on my fucking 4th YouTube account, and I'm Davey Crocco, who was in the chat, is on like his 5th YouTube account, and he's on his 2nd strike, so he can't post nothing. We've all been screaming to our fucking president in every way we can. And now that it affects him, now that the hammer has dropped, now people fucking, I mean, I guess it does kind of speak to your point that now people are like, well, holy shit. I mean, all these fucking peons on YouTube and Twitter and that I gave a shit about, sort of. Like, I think it's going to be the same sort of thing, though, dude.
Yeah,
I think Trump's going to sulk. I think Trump's going to fucking sulk, and he's going to, the grift is going to continue. I don't think I don't think he was a bad actor. I never did. I saw him as a wrecking ball, and a funny one at that. And you know, there was a lot of good. There was a lot of good on paper, but you know, what Twitter's. So I read just a few minutes ago, or a little bit ago, that Twitter's one of Twitter's stated reasons for banning Trump's account was that he was inciting. Oh man, I really like to pull it up.
That's what it was.
No, he was coordinating a second, like, quote unquote assault or attack on the Capitol on January 12th on and off of Twitter. So, I mean, I followed the president on Twitter as everyone else in this chat did. I saw nothing of the sort. He tweeted from the actual POTUS account some tweets that they deleted, and they were just, oh, you know, big tech censorship it's gone too far, sort of thing. And I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, what I was saying earlier about Twitter, Phil. I think leaving Twitter. I agree with the sentiment, but I think it's a hollow gesture, man. For us, for the only thing that would be meaningful, realistically, is to get off of all social media. Period. All of them. Delete all of them. Discord, Twitter, Parler, fuck them all. Get the email. Start a fucking email chain or whatever, and you know, You've got people that you care to communicate with, if that's something you want to do, or put yourself in the public eye in some other way that's not social media. Because again, Parler will either be dead or it will end up like Twitter. Gab will either be dead or it will end up like Twitter or like fucking Instagram. It's the machine, dude. I mean, unless I hate to sound so black-pilled, but that's just the way it goes. They all said the same shit. Twitter said the same shit. Unless I mean, I guess in less specific terms, but they were all free speech. They all stood by it, and they either disappeared and got buried, or got eaten up by the machine that I'm referring to. That is just money, dude. It's money and control, and this internet spheres, the social media in particular. There's never been a more a stronger form of control on people you don't have to be directly in front of. It's insane what people believe on the internet from people just based on things that they've seen from other people saying it on the internet. No further research, just someone says it. They trust that person because they speak in a trusting voice and have said other things that are trustworthy. They sound trustworthy. That sounds real, like flat Earth. Fucking, that rabbit hole goes deep, and you all know. But
I don't think people find flat Earth trustworthy, though.
No. But I'm saying the point though is like those people that believe the flat Earth. I would not going to argue for the majority of them, but the people that get duped by it, and they're not out there at conferences and shit, but maybe they go to one and they're like, oh, well, eventually they come out of it. They're like, oh fuck, that was really stupid. I can't believe I got duped by that. Just like people that go into Twitter thinking, oh, I can't fucking believe that there's or Facebook or whatever. Like, it's so amazing to have this platform to communicate freely with all these people. No, there's a platform that's collecting every fucking thing through your microphone that you type, who you communicate with and what they think, and selling it to ad agencies and absorbing it for God only fucking knows what, because the user agreements for any of these things are pages upon page. They're a fucking book. Good luck. You shouldn't have to be a legal scholar to download an app and understand what you're agreeing to, which again is that shit seems simple to me.
Yeah.
I think we need to, I think we should I don't have any other social media, and I'm actually new to it. I've had a YouTube for a decade almost, an actual YouTube channel, but Twitter, Sammy convinced me to join after I started making He Who Shall Not Be Named videos, just as an extra way to share them out. And I will never forgive him, because it's the only social media other than Discord, which the Danger Zone gets credit for me joining that. But I don't consider that social media. That's like AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you know what I mean? It's like it's like a modern AIM to me. You let people in that you want to. You have more control than you used to. So that's fine. But just like freely talking out into the world, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like we should. I intend to use it until it's gone, and use it as wisely as I can, and speak within the guideline. To subvert the rules, to speak as much of the truth as I can until I'm caught and burned at the stake, metaphorically or literally. Who the fuck knows at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like my presence on the platform gives them anything more than they already have. Joe Rogan leaving YouTube for Spotify could have been a huge moment for tech censorship.
It could have been.
If Joe Rogan said that's why he was leaving. But he's like, no, guys. I don't give a. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, I agree it exists, but no, I'm taking it for the $300 million fucking dollars that they're paying me.
Well, what's worse
You
with
know what I
that
mean?
is he has still not upload the lost episodes with all the edgy people and banned people. That's what makes it
Yeah.
worse. They're still not
Imagine
there.
that. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
and the thing is, like, yeah, I mean, we can leave social media, but what good does that do? We don't have a voice anymore. We're not influencing anyone. We're not. I mean, look, Trump used Twitter to literally win the election, okay? And it's gone. It's gone. He doesn't have it anymore. Honestly, this cripples his chances of ever running again more than anything else. More than anything else.
Hey,
This hurts it.
hey, Sean, you can't use that word cripple. Only I
Cripple.
can. Kidding.
Shit,
But
I don't have
yeah.
cripple privilege.
No,
But
but you. So I do want to touch on Rogan real quick because I did read something that was kind of funny this week. So apparently, Rogan's podcast has lost listeners, and like,
that's
uh,
expected moving.
Well, of
yeah,
course it
well,
fucking has, dude. Yeah.
well, but the person writing this article on like Market Watch or whatever it was baffled as to why, and I'm like, because Spotify's user interface sucks, basically. And, I mean, not only that, but again, the banned episodes and the fact that literally there are ads now pop up like in the middle of his stream.
Well, it's
On
also less accessible. I mean, people don't use Spotify for podcasts, at least not yet. They use it for music.
yeah.
And with Joe, I most 9 times out of 10, I would watch an episode or watch a clip because it popped up on my YouTube in my sub feed or my recommended feeds. And that doesn't happen anymore. So I'll be honest, I forget that he even exists most of the time. And that's what happens with this. It's a network effect. When you're on a platform, you stay there. And to move people over, you're always going to lose people. It doesn't matter where you move. You're always going to lose people because you're moving. You are forcing somebody to change how they access you. And people aren't good at doing that. They simply aren't because it requires work, it requires paying attention, and it requires signing up for a new service or doing things a different way. When they're in a habit, for years with Joe Rogan, and you just change that, I mean, you can't expect
Uh
everybody to
huh.
move, and they don't. It's just how people work, and that's where this whole idea of like, oh, you can just build your own alternative is like, it doesn't. It's like, yeah, that could work. It may decades from now have to be the only solution, but you may have conservative banks and liberal banks, but honestly, the best solution is still big government, regulation, nationalize these things. I don't know exactly what you call it or what it does, but if there's no government overreach, I don't see
Sean,
really anything else.
am I sounding like a robot to you or
No, you sound fine.
okay? Someone Sirio in the chat, who by the way is a robot, says Sam sounds like a robot. It could be because I'm recording the audio from my system and the microphone. So
He sounds
yeah.
like
Early,
T-Pain. No, just kidding.
yeah, no, earlier you did have like a weird echoey robot sort of thing going on.
Am I good now?
Yeah, you sound good to me
Sound
now.
good to me. Sound good to me.
Well, somebody in the Discord says, I downloaded the Parler app on my Android phone from the Parler website, still available as of earlier this evening.
Yeah,
There you go.
someone. One of my.
Yeah, they just take it. I mean, they can't ban the app from your phone. They just ban it from the app store. Like
And then-
you can still, just like Fortnite, like you go to the Fortnite website. I mean, sorry to use the Zoomer reference, but you go to the Fortnite website on a mobile device to download that game because it's not in any of the fucking app stores, or it may be now, but it used to be directly from, the Fortnite website. and still an app. You still get it on your phone, but you don't go to. So it's not like banning an app from the App Store means you can't get it on your mobile device. It just means it's less convenient.
And the
You
cloud,
literally just have to
not
type
only
in a
that,
website.
that's a good point. Not only that, the cloud service will, I mean, if the cloud service is going to fuck you up anyway, you can download that shit all you want. Like the cloud
Yeah,
service
right.
will fucking just won't operate your fucking app. So I mean, I don't. I mean, Parler fucked up. They really fucked up. Like
Guys, Parler's a fucking honeypot, and it has been all along. I think, in my personal opinion, like I don't reading through the TOS back in the day, and with the whole verifying with an ID, like it just seemed like more knock it off, you fucking cat. It just seemed like more like like just staging for the inevitable whether it was after one term or after. I mean, it became increasingly clear it would be one term to me anyway, or at least I suspected it, through what we all saw, through clear theft done in a way legally that could be presented to people that don't pay attention and just watch the nightly news or the afternoon news or the fucking morning news or whatever. And this shit's been on repeat for 4 years that Trump's the worst human being that's ever been born, ever. Certainly in this country, but up there with Hitler. Again, we all know that fucking that narrative. What was I saying?
Well,
I got lost in the Hitler thread there.
Everyone is saying that Parler sucks ass. Yeah, I mean it does. Now, not to defend Parler too much, but I understand why they went with AWS, because hosting your own shit is fucking expensive. But John or whatever the guy's name
so
is.
It's cheap. Okay, AWS, and I've taken the AWS courses too. Like, so yeah, AWS is cheap to start out, but yeah, they pin you, they bait and switch you. They have their tricks. They have their financial tricks.
Like when I signed up for Bluehost, they like, oh, first year it's only $50,
Yeah.
and then the second year's double.
Yeah, it's like they trap you. They trap. They do their shit.
Well, the benefit of like any sort of like hosting platform like AWS or Azure is that, it's more for scaling up. Like once you out, like let's say you start out small and then instead of having to go and buy a new server,
it's
that's why
it's really fantastic for that. Like the scaling.
Time out. Sammy, you actually do have a pretty wicked echo coming from your stream. In here you sound perfect, but I just played you on stream and you do have a pretty bad echo. Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt your thought there.
All right. It is time for me to deactivate this fucking account.
The moment of the historic moment's happening.
What about now, chat?
All right, I have your page up. Pluffy Phil, blocked by Lauren Southern. With
in here you sound perfect, but I just played you on stream and you do.
All right.
Pluffy Phil, who is following 42 people, joined December of 2012. Wow, 125 followers, including myself and our friends here. And blocked by Lauren Southern is going to disappear in 3. Or do you want to do the countdown?
This will deactivate your account. You're starting the process of deactivating your account. Blah 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 blah. What else should you know? That I don't really give a shit about any of that.
Do they have a section where you can say why you're deactivating it?
Say it again.
Do they have like one of those things?
So what they do, you deactivate your account. It's like, this will deactivate your account. You're about to start the process of deactivating your Twitter account. Your display name, your username, your profile name will no longer be viewable on Twitter, Twitter iOS, and Twitter for Android. Yeah, that's the fucking point. Let's see. What else should you know? You can restore your Twitter account if it was accidentally or wrongly deactivated for up to 30 days. No, I'm doing this on purpose, motherfuckers. All right. Some account information may still be available in search engines such as Google or Bing. Oh, that's terrifying. If you want to change your username, you don't need to deactivate your account. Edit in your settings. Nah, go fuck your mother.
Thanks.
All right. To use your current username or email address with a different Twitter account, change them before you deactivate this account. Go fuck your mother. Let's see. If you want to download your Twitter data, you'll need to complete both the request and download the process before deactivating your account. No thanks. Links to download data cannot be sent to your deactivated accounts. Yeah, don't give a shit. All right, and oh, I gotta fucking enter my password. What the fuck is my password? Holy shit. Hold on.
Do 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 do. Oh, I shouldn't
Hold
play
on.
that music today.
Sammy. Say
Yeah.
like a full sentence.
Frolicking in the field and fuck Jack Dorsey. Fuck 'em.
Fuck at Jack.
Am I echoing or?
No,
Oh, we're waiting for the delay. Hold on.
I shouldn't
Hold
play.
on.
Because what I'm
Your account is deactivated. Sorry to see you go.
Oh no, you're good, Sam. You're good.
Sorry to see you go. Hashtag goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
you're really
real
sorry.
fucking sorry.
Yep, this account does not exist anymore. Oh, Flashnet went away. Come back. I want to see that page. This account. What the fuck, Twitter? God damn it. I'm like refreshing it. It shows it for a second and then it's like gone. Yeah, where it says like this account doesn't exist anymore. All right, Twitter. Let's go to Google, another evil company, and then twitter.com/Pluffy. Phil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it basically doesn't exist anymore. But yep, you're officially gone.
Yes.
You have self-deported from Twitter.
Yeah, I just threw out a tweet, just F's in the chat for at Fluffy Phil.
Yep, let's do F's. Pay your respects.
Yeah, but I mean, I was being I may have been a little hyperbolic when I. And I mean, it seems pretty clear in the current, landscape that we exist in. But, somebody eventually will break through this bullshit, like this censorship via technology. The increase, obviously, the more technology, the more censorship, the more ability for censorship, and has been the case for all of our lives in this chat here. But eventually, we're all gonna die. The shit's gonna fucking come crashing. The whole thing will re-fucking set, or we will break through it. I think, like, we have to. Like, it's inevitable. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's inevitable, honestly.
You don't? Because I mean, I would argue that throughout human history, there's been oppression of all sorts that people living in those times were positive would never end. Slaves of generations going back to BC era and in between then and now. Slaves people
will end.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I don't think these companies, at least not in the near future, end. They have a lot of money and they have a lot of power.
That's the thing is, I was kind of saying the opposite. The oppression is never going to end. Like, that's one thing that has existed all throughout human history.
Oh.
Like the people that try to oppress end up, it's an ebb and flow, just like most things. Like the oppressors take over, the oppressed rise the fuck up, and that's how this nation was built. Arguably, as far as we understand, the pinnacle of free civilization, free, sovereign humanity, albeit mostly a facade, but still, It's we're entering, I feel like, a trough on a valley rather, and with any luck it'll be a short one, and we'll fucking, within our lifetimes, we'll see society and humanity at large moving back up, for our children and our grandchildren perspective, or literal, you know what I mean? But I mean, I hate the term. I hate when people use the phraseology that because I got into an argument on Twitter recently. Some prominent gamer was like, "It's so crazy living through such historical times." Like, well, that bothered me because I mean, the definition of historical is like happening and having happened in the past. Like, what specifically do you mean? Because there's all kinds of crazy shit going on right now. Everyone that's ever lived through any point in history has lived through something historical, like, ever.
Yep.
And the semantics really bothered all this, the simps in this dude's replies. But the point though is that I was trying to make is like, this particularly, I feel like, is kind of a watershed moment. And I mean, Trump's whole election from the start of it was a watershed moment, and it's just the rise of the, like a tidal wave builds as just like some, it's just a little bump in the water, and then it hits, shallower water, and that fucking thing turns into a wave and crushes. Sorry, I've been watching 2011 tsunami videos lately, but it's still like, the analogy still kind of works, at least in my head, because all this shit that we've been watching, the Gavin being banned, Milo being banned, Alex Jones being banned, and even the president being banned. This is all like the swell, and people. I laugh. I've laughed for a long time about people's New Year's resolutions, like, oh, this fucking last year sucked. Whatever year we're talking about. I mean, you could pick, up to, if not more than half of your friends, personal friends, that were like, yep, this year's going to be better. I'm going to do better this year. Everything's going to be better. It's like, well, you can do better. You can try harder. That's for sure. But just because it's a new year, it doesn't, like, you're not hitting the reset button.
Well,
Like,
well,
so
yeah,
we're in
Apex.
2020, the sequel, motherfuckers. Keep your arms and legs inside the fucking vehicle until such time as it derails and you all fucking die horribly. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and
Here's $600 first, though.
yeah, Apex, and people got so pissed off at me because I was like, I'm actually not optimistic about this year, and they're like, why are you being so grumpy and so crabby, Sam? And I'm like, it's not that I'm being grumpy or crabby. It's just I don't think nothing has changed. It's just like in the Who song, won't get fooled again. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. So.
And Chad, thanks for the drum roll, Tim Kai. And the F's, of course. Moon Quartz asks first, do you think you guys will get purged tonight? No, probably not.
Small for that.
Yeah, we're small fish, but that doesn't mean we're safe. But I think our time, we all have an expiration date. It's just we haven't. I don't think we're gonna recharge tonight.
Yeah, the rate that we're getting subscribers might be longer than expected. But you see that article I posted in the news section?
Was it the one from Penn State?
No.
Or is this a new one?
New one.
An 18-year-old saw her mom and uncle in a video in DC, so she... I hate when they crop those headlines. Let me pull that shit up. Some BuzzFeed. Let's see.
Oh.
So she named them? Oh, she doxed her family?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Wow.
Here's my thing. I don't care. you know, if it's my fucking family or like a close friend, I don't care what you fucking do. Like, especially family. Like, there's not like even the family members that I have not seen in years. We weren't on good terms. You know, unless they do something to fuck over my other family members, which tends to happen. I, you know, unless that thing was about that, I would not report them. You know, I'm not like fucking family, at least to me. That's above politics. Family is above fucking government.
Well,
You know,
that
Not
used
in the left eye. They want to destroy family. I don't believe in family.
and guess who also said that? That was common in the Soviet Union for them to have their fucking kids rat out on their
Yep.
parents.
If you read the Marxists, like I forget what it fucking was. My girlfriend asked about a week ago or so, but she had a document she read of people like analyzing. I think it was during McCarthyism. It was like saying like, oh, these are what the communists are doing, what they want. This is basically their plan, their manifesto. And dude, it's so fucking accurate for not only then, but for now. It's exactly what these people want and do. Like,
it's
yeah, that's pretty messed up.
it's
I mean, this whole thing is messed up. People literally half the country thinks that a bunch of boomers with selfie sticks were going to, were trying to do an insurrection and take control of the government. First of all, that's not how you do it. Like, and you're not gonna do it in the way they did. I mean, it's so laughable. What are they gonna do? Walk in, get shot by security? Yeah, that's what's gonna happen, and that's
well,
what did happen, and we all know how that's pretty
Technically,
messed up.
like some of the videos, like look, I mean, really, some of the videos I watched, the fucking the guards were pointing them in the right direction.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's where you go, here's where you go. Like they were aiding them, like they were being
Wait.
fucking tour guides, basically.
which I want to bring up my conspiracy real quick on that. It does seem kind of odd that that was the case because, um, it does seem odd that was the case because it almost seems as if they were being led to do this.
Yeah.
You know, that like this is what the powers that be wanted to have happen. They wanted, they wanted these QAnon LARP retards to do this to make, to make the entire right look bad. I mean, for the love of God, I don't know how many times I've actually had to message people this, but for the last time, folks, to the normies who are watching this, for the love of God, I am not involved with fucking QAnon. I don't know what the fuck it is even.
No, most people aren't, and that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I hate when people like that's such a cheap go-to move. Like they're gonna try to to hammer you because you're there, right? They're like, oh, like you say some stuff and you say some stuff that's thought-provoking, and they're like, oh, Sam's part of fucking Q. Like, no, nobody's a part of Q. Okay, I had to Google that shit just to figure out what the fuck it was, and guess what? I still don't know what the fuck it is. Like, I'm like,
You guys want to know what Q is? Q is
I think we've had this conversation before several
well,
times.
well, yeah, but see, we've had this every night, but until people stop talking at it, we're gonna keep having this conversation. What is like? You need to repeat something 50 times before people get it. I don't know how many more times I can say this. Let me say this in another creative way and make a movie reference. QAnon is the fucking decoder ring from A Christmas Story that tells Ralphie to drink his Ovaltine, right? It's a fucking nothing burger.
yeah.
It's literally
No, I disagree. It's worse than a nothing burger. It's an actual I feel like it has been an actual psyop this whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know its origins necessarily. I mean, I can speculate like anybody. I could speculate like anybody else, but it got taken up somewhere, some ways. And I was thinking earlier, and I actually tweeted a short thought about this. Hold on, let me get this out before I forget it, Sam. Sorry. But this whole mass banning, you guys are surely familiar with the Q and just the hardcore MAGA, the MAGA / Q grifters, the big accounts on Twitter and Facebook, just the people that push both. They're, Trump's always right, and trust the plan type of thing. There's jokes about glow in the dark, quote unquote, as coined by the legendary Terry Davis, the legendary Terry Davis. Glow in the dark, feds is the shorthand. But federal agents posing as just normal people online, inciting violence because we all know that we all know they do that. They have admitted to that. They will incite people to do violence and then arrest them for doing violence. Teach them how to make bombs and then arrest them for making fucking bombs. So to think that they're not doing that in 2020 and 2021 now on a large scale and have been doing it for a long time is insane to me. Like, to think that that's not at least a possibility, if not a high probability. So anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is this mass purge, there is several prominent, 50,000+ follower accounts that I had followed because they were interesting, and I like to make jokes about the things that they would tweet. Again, it was all trust the plan. Trump is God. Trump is sent by Jesus, and all this just hardline shit. And it just seemed, I followed them because they seemed a little glowy to me, and all of them have just disappeared. Now, if any of these people, any of these accounts, prominent or otherwise, 500 followers or 500,000, were, bad actors or agents of some sort acting to try and subvert the public's attention, that if they just got banned in as you've already said, the largest social media ban ever, like, would the normies that followed those people think, would the consideration that those people were bad actors ever be a possibility?
In the minds of normies?
I don't know. In the minds of the people that followed them and believed what they said, if they just got banned along with tens of thousands of other people for a similar ideology, trust the plan, the whole Q shit, and they just disappeared forever, they would be martyrs. Whether they actually were, whether they actually are martyrs, which I believe probably a good portion, if not most of them are. But I refuse to believe that all of these huge accounts aren't manned by some fucking intelligence agencies, whether they're ours or they're foreign. Both. Yeah. In a lot of these cases. So I don't know, man. Like, again, I try to play devil's advocate on a lot of these, a lot of the things we talk about, and in this case, it's like, it's not so much devil's advocate as I'm trying to look at the 30,000 foot view as someone who's been outside of this realm, social media in general, and politics even more so, for most of my life. Just kind of tried to be a good person to the people that I meet, I don't know, man.
I think the bigger picture here, though, is that there's a lot of big power moves, the big power grabs being done by big tech and corporations, and also by government. Look at what's going to happen on Monday. They're going to introduce articles of impeachment. It's going to pass in the House, probably. And they're going to try and impeach Trump. They're going to go for it. They're fucking going to impeach him again. Why are they doing this? I mean, the
Yeah,
blue
why?
pill
What's the point
reason.
there?
There's a again, this is the bigger picture stuff here that people aren't, the
Well, they're just
mainstream media isn't telling you. Like the blue pill here, the official thing is, oh, he incited violence and is inciting insurrection. But the red pill, the bigger picture here is what's really going on. What really is going on is they're using this to prevent him from running ever again, because that's
well,
what you can
I
do
mean,
with an impeachment. That's what they're terrified of, because he said he'll do
well,
it, and he will.
if he's removed from all, they can't remove him. Like they can't.
Yes,
They're
they
not going to have
can.
enough time. They're not going to have enough of time between now and
No, yeah,
yeah. That's not
you're
going
right.
to
No,
no.
It's
Well,
funny how
all
time
this
works in
is
Congress.
all this
When
is.
they need to censor big, fix big tech, when they need to build a wall, they don't have time for that. But when they want to impeach the president, they'll find time. I
No, but
think
even
they
then,
will.
even when they impeached him, it's
bro.
like even it's like you can like even if you impeach him, you're not. I mean, they're probably going to pass the articles of impeachment. They're just not going to be able to remove them because you have to impeach and then you have to have the
Yes.
investigation
Yes.
and
But
that's it.
do
But
they
but
need
the,
an investigation that takes months when they have control of all branches of
they have
government?
to like each
Do they? Why do they have to do investigation? They could just do a 5-second one saying, well, here's his tweets. The investigation's over. All right, guys, let's move to the Senate now. That's what they're going
yeah
to do. Look how fast
because there's
things
a
are
process
moving.
because
The
there's a
speed
process
is
and it's
moved.
not
What process?
even
They don't need a process. They don't need any process
yeah
now.
there
They have
is a process
control.
for impeachment. They don't
Yeah,
need
I
like
know, but
Well,
they can fast track it now. Is my point, because they have control. That's what
yeah
they
but
didn't
they
have
yeah, but
before.
yeah but with the impeachment you only need a majority. With a actual removal you need 2/3 and you're not
Yeah,
going to
I
get
don't think they're going to
2/3.
get the removal at all.
Well,
I
Yeah,
really don't.
but they're
I
just
think
all this is a shame on the way out. This is it.
it's
no,
symbolic
well,
it's
it's
that
not
more
just
that's
than
what
that.
it
that.
It's not
is.
It's
just
more
that.
than
It's
that.
more than that. It's about the people that supported him too. I
Yeah.
think that's what it's really about. It's about if they can
They
push
want to
this shit
incite
through, and
violence. It's a
if
simple
they
thing.
can
They
push,
learned that they can incite violence with just a few days ago. They're doing it so that they can get Trump supporters to be violent on Inauguration Day. That's what they want.
And that
That's what they want.
and
And they want
that's
it so they can use fear as an excuse to do more things against Trump supporters. They're doing it right now. Right now, they're doing it. Look, read that Twitter blog post I posted in chats. That
I'd love to read the tweet, but I'm no longer a part of that fucking program.
Well, it's a blog post, it's not a tweet. It's very it's more than 250 characters where they explain why they removed him. The general reason is, and this is crazy, due to the risk of further incitement of violence. I mean, that is such a loaded phrase. It's totally against the First Amendment, et cetera, et cetera. But when you read line by line, they literally they show the tweets that they say are doing it and their assessment. And one tweet they pull in particular as a reason of how Trump is inciting violence is his very last tweet, or one of his last tweets. The first one he sent today. To all those who have asked, I will not be going to the inauguration on January 20th. They cite that tweet as a reason to ban him. And what is the reasoning? They said, due to the ongoing tensions in the United States and an uptick in the global conversation regards people who violently stormed the Capitol, these two tweets must be read in context of broader events, blah, 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 including to incite violence, as well as the context of pattern behavior from his account in recent weeks. We have determined that these tweets are in violation of the glorification of violence policy. Why do they say that? And they list further below because they're saying President Trump's statement that he will not be attending the inauguration is being received by a number of his supporters. That's further confirmation that the election was not legitimate and is seen as him disavowing his previous claim made via Twitter as chief of staff that there'd be an orderly transition. Like, the logic here is insane.
that
There is
is
none.
insane. No, that is insane. Actually, I mean, again, I do tend to like try to play devil's advocate a lot of the times, but I gotta be real with you. That
They're
the
imagining.
whole idea.
They're imagining what the meaning is.
They're filling. I don't know if I'm just actually retarded or crazy or both, but on a large scale, the communication problems that I actually have, like in real life, like a weird social issue with communication. I get misunderstood all the time, and it's very frustrating. And I feel like I'm the crazy one because I try to explain things to people, and instead of what I say, there's inference between what I don't say. They assume, based on what I said and how I said it, that something I didn't say is the truth. And it happens all the fucking time.
Yep.
And now I am retarded. I am fucking retarded, and I wear that openly. I'm not retarded, but I am not that smart. I'm not well read. I'm not well learned. I'm not well educated. I guess
Oh,
is
God.
the real
But
thing.
this is their
I mean,
point.
but
Is
suffer
they are
from
trying
that
to
stuff, too.
gaslight people. That is
they
exactly
are,
what
and
they are.
people
Look at
and
the
people are,
phrases.
and
Like, you
people
need to
are.
look at the language they're using. They're calling the people that stormed the Capitol. Everybody in the media is using the same words. Terrorist, insurrection. These are gaslighting phrases to put you down and piss you off more. If there's one thing I notice is that everybody is way more fucking pissed off. And that's
Well,
what they want. They want
but
a reaction.
that's the thing. What the bigger point that I was trying to make actually is, I mean that the point you're making is, that seems obvious to me. But what seems a more recent, I guess, realization or like thought that I've had is like, yeah, I mean, I'm not, again, I'm not that well read. I'm not that well educated. I'm not that smart, but I have met tons of people, but only recently in my life have I been having this weird, persistent communication issue. And I feel like I've recently had this sort of epiphany that, holy fuck, this, this brainwashing shit that's come down from every angle of any kind of organized media, from the TV to YouTube. Once YouTube started recommending mainstream media, I mean, that was 5-6 years ago, maybe even more than that. That, Jimmy Kimmel and Ellen and all that shit started popping up on people's fucking recommended pages, uh, uh, unprovoked, or Fox News or CNN. You know what I mean? Just random fucking mainstream media started popping up into the alternative platforms, which again, I really wish I could remember. I feel maybe it was 10 years ago at this point. I don't fucking know. But even the people that were trying to break away from watching TV were inundated with the narrative from, whether it be from Fox News or it's all just, it seems like one big funnel to me. Like when I look at it all, we've all been led like fucking cattle. Effectively, we think this platform is going to do us just. We're going to be able to speak our minds, and we click agree on a 120-page document, or a user agreement that entails your photos, your fucking microphone, your camera, all that shit. And we're like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, it's fine. You know what I mean? We've trusted it, and now we're 10 plus years down the line, and I feel like people's that have a brain ultimately are still, there's the brainwashing is so pervasive, that yeah, it exists on every platform. And if you think that you're getting your news from YouTube, you're getting it from, or you're not watching TV, you're getting your news from some, like a Sam Whitfield, and I'm only using him because he's here, but someone like Sam Whitfield, a smaller YouTuber that reports on news, but he's reporting on news from a source. And now I trust Sam's sources and I trust his reporting, because I know Sam and I know his morals and his values and stuff personally. I've spoken to him personally off the air many times, so it's different from just the general, live streamosphere where people give their opinions and people trust them based on a news article that comes down from what was that fucking this is a threat to our democracy. This is a threat to our democracy. All the local news shit that was synced up together saying exactly the same shit. What was it? Sinclair? Was it Sinclair Media or some shit?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. I
Well,
can't
yeah,
remember.
and that video though was something that apparently was actually something they were all supposed to read, so it was a little deceptive. But the point still stands that the media,
No, it's not. But that's not
using the
deceptive at
same.
all, though.
Isn't that what like Gamergate
Yeah.
had?
No. This was something different because that video. I remember that video. It was actually a statement they all had to read. Like it wasn't like they were fed talking points or like it was a thing where somebody said this is what we're going to call X. Like it was actually just like a statement that was just sent out to everyone as
that was sent out to local news stations across the country from all
but it
the
wasn't like a thing
unbiased.
that had ill intent. But there are
Right.
other things that do. Like with the best word that you can look at now is the word insurrection. That is what every media outlet's calling this, even though it objectively was not an insurrection. They weren't trying to overtake the government. They weren't taking anybody hostage. They didn't have any guns. They were completely unarmed. All they did was walk in, and they were like the court gestures. They just went in and took selfies. Like, what fucking insurrection goes in and takes selfies?
They shit on desks and
I
walls
think they took a shit on the desks. Like I'm saying, I'm surprised. I was looking.
Should
Well,
have.
look,
they did.
Apex.
No, they did shit in the building.
Wait, are there any pictures of this?
Yeah, I need pictures. I want that. I want to frame that.
Hilarious.
I mean, the
mean,
bigger
look,
picture
there's
here,
multiple.
though,
let's
is
be real though. Okay, let's be real for a second though. Like, yeah, okay. So obviously what happened in the Capitol, it was fucked up and probably shouldn't have happened. On the other side, let's not bullshit each other. Okay, it's not the Capitol is not the U.S. Capitol building is not exactly a beacon for the fucking democratic process. Okay,
yeah,
it's a fucking
It's a
whore.
swamp.
It's a glorified whorehouse for the donor class. Okay,
yes.
they're all a bunch of pimps and whores. That's all there is over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much fucking Chinese Chinese spy pussy juice is on that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? And Apex. Okay, I sympathize with you in that I too have I have a mental issue that really affects my social life big time. And see, because so with me though, I have this thing, it's like in my brain, and what it's doing is making me believe that everyone's just a slimy piece of shit. Okay. And okay, no.
Well, you're probably not wrong, generally speaking.
Well, Phil,
But I just
it's logic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That thing in my head is logic. I'm sorry.
right.
how
So you're not.
dare
So
you
so
use
you-
that.
right. You're not crazy. Is what you're saying. And that's like. I the thing is I've always been a social butterfly, even when I was the opposite. Like I was, in middle school and early high school and shit. I was very, like, I guess would be in that era would be classified as like goth, all black and just weird. But I loved
Were you
people.
an edgy boy?
Oh yeah, the early edgy boys.
You know
but
what
I
happened to a lot of those
more
goth
than
people?
anything, they ended up like me, drug addicts and dead inside, or literally. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
the thing is, like, if you actually follow them, they end up trans. True story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, that's not me.
Well, obviously
maybe
not all
listen,
of them.
maybe
It's not
maybe
all or
maybe in
nothing, but it's a lot of them.
hashtag not all. Maybe in your generation, bro. But I think I've got a few years on you.
I was looking at a fucking picture of myself in the yearbook. Like when I was in middle school, I looked fucking like goth and shit. I wasn't even crying. I was
How
like,
did you look off?
I think I'm fine to fucking like emo or goth or something. I was like, I wasn't even trying to do that shit.
Oh, I mean, I guess
It looked like
the
I had
point though,
mascara in my eyes when I didn't even like have any of that shit.
Yes.
I guess the point that I was like that was trying to make though is like I've never really had an issue talking to people. Even now, I'm not like averse to conversations with strangers, and I can talk about anything. But it's the people that I care about, and that I care about my opinion. It's when I try to explain things to them
No,
that like
Apex, I get it because the same thing happens with me. A lot of the time.
Well, and that's what's happening right now is if you look at the country, I've talked to some lefty friends about the voter fraud, and it's like it couldn't be a bigger case of two different realities. You show evidence, they say that's very little, it wasn't sway the election, and they say the courts threw it all out. It's like you're in two different worlds. It's not going to agree. There's no unity. It's not happening. And these past couple days are a good example of what's coming, which is the country splitting. It's already very divisive and people are in different realities, but it is probably going to physically still be one country, but people are just going to move apart. I mean, when you see just look, people literally think there was an insurrection and there wasn't from our reality.
It's been going that way, Sean. I mean, I hate to interject here, but like I do want to bring up the point here that this has been going on for a while. Now,
yeah, it has been, but what I'm saying is that things have literally sped up so quickly in so little time. It's crazy. I mean, there was one tweet that said like literally like a year ago we weren't wearing masks, we weren't shut down, the government wasn't shutting down businesses, and we didn't have people in the Capitol building, we didn't have this voter fraud crap, we didn't have the president being banned from Twitter. I mean, my point is you have to realize how quickly things are accelerating, because that means like the effects are going to accelerate, and I can't emphasize enough the importance of looking at how the media is gaslighting people, because I'm really scared that on January 20th we're going to have a part 2 of January 6th. It may or may not happen. I hope people calm down. But people are already saying they're going to be back there. They're saying they're going to be back. I don't know what's going to happen, but you could have some feds involved.
Sean,
you could have some bad actors. There could be some violence. They're setting things up for more power grabs. It couldn't be more clear.
Sean,
when you look at what Twitter says, you look at what the media says, they're setting things up to gaslight people, to get them to be violent. That's what the impeachment thing is. That's what the bans are for. It's all it's like a mass gaslighting. And
that's what QAnon has been for years. That was my point.
I don't think that's
earlier.
What Q's been. I think Q has just been a controlled. No, Q has just been a controlled operation. Like it started as a joke. Like it started on 4chan.
Bro,
as this
look at what
joke.
it is. Look at what anyone that supports Q is. Look at all the woman that got shot in the fucking throat in the Capitol building was wearing a Q flag as a cape. If I'm not mistaken.
Well,
okay, so
hold on.
But the thing is, look, I've talked to these Q people, and they're harmless. Like they weren't really gaslit. What happened recently is the whole country got gaslit.
They may have been harmless in the sense of hurting other people, but they have strong belief. They believe enough to drive from Chicago or from Florida to DC to stop the steal. And when the barricades come down, when the barricades come down and they're fucking storming into the building, they feel trust the plan. You know, like I don't know, dude.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I know
Go ahead.
what you're getting to is that
when you have fucking churches shut down for like a year, you know, people replace the church with QAnon.
Yes, that's become the effect of it. The purpose of Q, what people were using Q for, like the controlled opposition element of it, was not to really gaslight people. It was really to make just people look stupid. and it did a good job of that. It was to, when they call you a conspiracy theorist, they go, well, look, they believe in Q. Look, they have a Q pin. It's to demoralize and delegitimize. It's rules for radicals. It's Marxist shit. Like, it's very basic. It's just a smear tactic. It's
Bro,
just
it's both.
you
It's
know,
both, though. It's both. That's the thing.
It is both. Here's one thing I want to point out though too, Sean, is I mean lots of things have accelerated in 2020 and now in 2021, but I do want to bring your attention back to 2016 and early 2017. Right, in 2016 and 2017, after the election, there were mainstream news articles about how people were disinviting their Trump-supporting family members from holiday parties, from birthday parties, from family events, from family reunions, and it got mainstream attention. Everyone was kind of shocked by it, but we knew it was happening. And my point being is, to me, that was when the division in this country really started. So yeah, we can talk about like COVID.
oh, it started long before that.
It started
Long
under the
before
Obama
that.
administration.
Yes,
Well, yeah.
exactly.
I
would say the Iraq War was a big start of it, and then Obama is really what kicked it off, because BLM started under Obama. That brought a lot of division.
Well,
Division happened way because the left loves to say Trump is divisive. You know, that's their thing. Oh, he's the big divisive guy. No. It's come long before Trump.
Well,
8 years before Trump.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I have to go. I have something very important I have to go do.
You have to read your Q drops.
I have to go. I have to go photocopy them, and I have an archive of every Trump tweet ever that I have to make photocopies of and post around my cornfields.
And then
Based no.
Based and red pill.
And then are you going to like make love to those,
Listen, I've got a tiny little dick, man. If I try to have sex with paper printouts of Q posts, I will be a tranny. Not by choice though. I will.
What the guy does with his stuff and his pages, okay, that's his business.
That's his business. No, I'm gonna be real with you guys.
Business.
I just got an unsolicited text message from a very good friend that invited me to eat some LSD straight from New York City.
Oh shit!
So I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah.
I love you guys. It's a good preempt to a nice trip. So fuck you guys. I love you all. I love you guys for real. Chad,
I'll see you on your trip, Apex.
Shut up, Sammy. I'm just kidding. I love you guys.
No homo.
Yeah, so I was looking I was looking at like the Today Show because I like to watch the local news. Unfortunately, the news channel that I watch is on NBC, and then right after that, like the Today Show comes on. So like, so anyway, they were doing this thing, like this historical context of the U.S. Capitol building.
Oh God!
Like it was like, so this is where something happened, and they were trying to give historical stories just to try to make it look worse, right? They were trying to make, this is why it's worse, because all this historical stuff happened. So in my head, I was thinking, I was trying to read like Andrea Mitchell, that fucking stupid bitch. She was the one narrating it, but she was like this. And I in my head, I was trying to re-narrate it, and I was like, and this is where Lindsey Graham bent over and spread his cheeks for Winnie the Pooh. And like, yeah, I'm just like,
took a fucking Monica Lewinsky to go and like have a jizz shot over here. Here's that one fucking Dianne Feinstein gave National Secrets to a fucking Chinese operative, and then the other fucking dude who was banging the Chinese operative.
Even though Winnie the Pooh's dick is only 2 inches, he still found a way to get it in that fucking tight ass of Lindsey Graham's. Like, no, I mean,
This is where Joe Biden raped people.
And that's everywhere.
that's everywhere.
Yeah, look. I think it's one. I think it's funny that they care about history now, and two, that they talk about the historical significance of all this crap. But when the Black Lives Matter people were tearing down statues, when they were destroying businesses, putting graffiti on historical monuments, all kinds of shit. Oh, we don't talk about that. So I just tell them, I don't even say I condemn it. I don't even say anything. I just say, sit down. You weren't complaining then. You don't get to complain now.
Well, not
That's it.
Well, not only
These are
that,
peaceful protesters that smashed some glass, got a little ruckus, but it was peaceful. They were fighting for social justice.
not only that, Sean, but have you noticed that the script has flipped a bit? I mean, and what I mean by that is, like, before, all of these people were like, fuck the cops, cops are pigs, cops are, evil. But now a lot of them are like, oh my god, the Brian Sticknick, the Capitol, police officer, he died. That's horrible. And it is horrible, folks. I'm not mocking that, but what I am mocking is the fact that these same people who are so anti-cop are now flipping the script because now it's convenient for them.
Mm-hmm. And people are seeing it, and it's pissing them off and gaslighting them more. I mean, that to me is what, again, really worried about it, because you're seeing a mass gaslighting happen. They want what happened January 6th to happen on January 20th, but way worse.
Well,
They want somebody to take a shot at Biden. They want somebody to come to inauguration and start beating people up. They want clashes. They want more of this. They want it so badly, and it's really sickening, because that's what's behind the impeachment. That's what's behind the bans. That's what's behind everything, is they want to silence people and incite people and gaslight people. I mean, the tech thing is more about silencing influence, but the Dems clap it, they clap for it, they cheer it on because they know it's going to piss more people off. They know what they're doing. They know the fire they're playing with.
Well, so to that end, I want to take this moment, at least on my stream and on the podcast, for anyone listening to this and or watching this either now or in the past, present, future hour. Please do not go to Washington, D.C. Please do not go to the inauguration on the 20th. Stay home. Just don't do anything. Don't get into groups. It's not worth it. Because
I agree.
And I mean, look, I hate to say this, but I hate to say that, but it's true, because there's already Evil Eric in the chat says he's already there. Well, you're a few days early, Eric. There's no point in going in there. They're just going to at this point it's just going to cause trouble.
Yep. Yeah, no, stay home. Honestly, I don't like saying this sort of shit 'cause it's kind of gay. It's like, oh, don't go to this, don't go to that. But I am fully agreeing with you, Sam.
Yeah.
Like, stay away. This is just gonna be trouble. It's not worth it. It's just gonna end badly.
I mean, look, we've had to spend the past what is it? Almost 4 years now, 3.5, 4 years defending Charlottesville, which
Yeah.
This is going. I mean, this is already being lumped in with Charlottesville.
No, it's basically a Charlottesville 2.0, just without the Wignats, and it's being used at a way higher level to silence people.
Well, they don't need the Wignats because the media can just make the narrative that, oh well, most of these people probably were Wignats, right?
Well, no, it's better. It's actually better for them because the Nazis, some people can dismiss as a fringe or something like that. These were Trump supporters. They had MAGA hats and they look like normal Americans. They look like your neighbor. It's a very this is such a they are like jizzing themselves over this thing.
Oh
'Cause it's
yeah.
so perfect for them, for their evil plans. I mean, somebody in the chat, let me check. Tim Kai says, I've been having a debate with an artist I've played on AS before. He claims these folks at the Capitol were terrorists. They weren't, of course. Going to take hostages using a photo of an ex-military guy with zip ties as evidence. Yeah, I can understand why he'd based off that one photo. That was one dude. None of the other people had zip ties, and I want to know why he had the zip ties.
Well, again, this is what makes me think that I'm not saying the whole entire thing was staged. There are people who are saying that it was staged, but whether it was staged or not, they've created a narrative, and the idiots who did this helped them create this narrative because, like, okay, here's what I want to know. Here's what a lot of people know. You storm the Capitol, and you get in there. Let's say you succeed in your goal. What was your end goal, right? Like, were they just?
Yeah, you can't take over the government. Like, literally, the government can operate over fucking Zoom.
They
Yeah.
right. Well, we've literally seen that too in 2020. Like we've literally seen that, but yet they seemed to think that by raiding the Capitol, they were going to stop, whatever from happening.
So it's either two things. It's either these are the worst insurrectionists ever, and it should be laughed at as a pathetic attempt that's not serious and non-threatening, or it was not an insurrection attempt. Either way, the fucking outrage is fake. It is manufactured. It's brainwashing. They're brainwashing you to react this way so that you're scared and so that you can let them get away with doing all these power grabs. I mean, I've never seen such a clear, like, dystopian power grab in my life. It's not like one of those things like where it's like, I'm scared. I'm kind of like, yeah, I can see the arguments that's taking away freedom, but I'm okay with it. No, this is like cut and dry. I mean, it's scary stuff because you want to know what they're going to do next. Like, look at the statement that the Biden-Harris transition made. They're threatening. I know they always threaten to go after the NRA, but they're threatening very viciously this time to go after the NRA and destroy it. They're going to try and do it.
That are doing anything. They're fucking
They're
negotiating.
fucking themselves.
Organization.
Well,
What was that?
The negotiating rights away. That's what our NRA stands for.
That's a good one. Yeah, and I think they're gonna try and get rid of the NRA and all these other orgs. And I mean, honestly, like, I'm not this is to be, I shouldn't say because it'll get taken out of context, but be smart now, prepare, and like I said, get everything you need to get while you still can.
And don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, don't do anything stupid.
Evil Eric in the chat brings up a good point. Actually, he's being funny, but he brings up a good point. He says, "If you are let in, doesn't count as storming, quote unquote. If that's the case, I'm about ready to storm my bathroom." That is a good point, evil Eric, because clearly.
Did you see his last comment? His new one. He said Joe Biden stormed his 14-year-old niece's sundress. Disavow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, disavow Biden.
Well, he thought she was a scratch and sniff sticker. So just trying to.
Oh god.
But
Modus operandi.
But no.
Somebody should send him that in the mail, like one of those, like, those fucking like makeup scratch and sniff things that come in the mail. Like, here's some you can scratch and sniff by in the it's female related.
Dude, he probably doesn't even open up his own mail. He's too old, and this advanced stage like Parkinson's or whatever. He probably can't physically like hold on to a fucking box.
That's probably Kamala's job. She's like opens me like, here, Joe, honey.
He probably pays some fucking doesn't pay a fucking intern to do it.
No, the intern's probably scared to do it, so they're just like, because they think somebody's gonna like, put ricin in there, or they're scared that Joe like's gonna rape him. So like, nah, you can handle it. Come on, you can be in a room alone with him, giving him his mail.
So my
Someone just want those sex dolls from that look like kids to see if he fucks.
Yeah, send in the mail.
Like a webcam in its pussy or ass or both.
Well, I've been told, I don't know if I told this on the show, but I've been told from a semi-reliable source during the campaign that a Secret Service agent told this person that when they were serving as a Secret Service agent at Biden's place, that he would go into, like when the Secret Service agents were there, he would walk out to his pool with all the Secret Service agents there naked and swim nude. Like he would do really weird shit like that.
How big was his penis?
Yeah, that's probably something that I don't think
That's classified. That's classified.
Yeah.
No, that is something that I've that I have thought about before though. Like, imagine the shit.
Don't say that ever again on air, please. Don't ever say that. Like,
The next one.
this is something I've thought about. Like, dude.
About that. With all these young kids using Snapchat and like having nudes leaked, in the next 20 years, you're gonna have a president that everyone knows what their genitals look like.
The have president that had an OnlyFans.
That's not that. What I meant to say was, one thing I've often thought about is the fact that when you're a Secret Service agent, can you imagine the shit that you must overhear?
Oh God, dude. Imagine being Bill and Hillary's like fucking Secret Service agent and having to leave the room when they have an argument.
You have an NDA for ever, so you I have a mouth but I can't scream.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and that's even fucking worse. So imagine that you're Bill Clinton's Secret Service agent, and you had to you were part of his personal details, so you had to well, I'm sure that watching Monica Lewinsky couldn't have been too bad, but still, imagine having to watch that and having to go with him as he lies to Hillary that, oh no, nothing happened. I was in the Oval Office the entire time, working.
It's not the only Oval he was in.
But yeah. This is why I need a sound effects board. So.
Bimbo number 5. What was that song called that you showed me, Alex?
Are you referring to Love Potion number 5?
No, I know that song, but it was
are you talking about Bimbo number 5, the where it was like a comedic parody.
Yeah.
Where it was it was a parody of Mambo number 5.
Yes.
And
if you look up on YouTube, Alex introduced me to that. It's like a parody where Bill Clinton's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Everybody in I forget how it goes. Like, let's have sex, and he goes down on talking about all his mistresses, like Monica, Jennifer, Pauline, Kathleen.
Say what you will about Trump, but during the whole Lewinsky Gate era, Trump was having an affair with Karen McDougal.
Oh my God.
Who's a playmate, and she's way better looking than Lewinsky was in her prime. I'm sure.
Bro, that's why Trump says at least my mistresses are hot. I was like, yep. He's right on that.
I found a meme that I'm not going to post the main chat 'cause it's pretty.
Too spicy. Too spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is reserved for hosts. Let's see. Uh, yeah, it's too spicy. Dude, that's what they're doing. Like, the gaslighting's unreal. They're taking their jobs, they're taking their livelihoods, they're taking the church away, they're taking everything away. And then they're telling them, yeah, you think the election was fake and phony? No, that's not true. You guys are just crazy conspiracy theorists. Like,
Oh,
gaslighting is unreal.
That's pretty disturbing.
What was that?
I found something else that's pretty disturbing.
Dude, it was trending on Twitter. Literally, when Trump was banned, one of the top things trending on Twitter was Twitter HQ.
I disavow, but
Major disavow here.
buddy.
Yeah, I bet there's gonna be a few new visitors in suits and bulletproof vests at Twitter HQ tomorrow.
Yeah, I would not recommend it.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
Don't do something stupid,
Well,
people.
most importantly, because you have to actually go into fucking San Francisco. Like, ugh.
Yeah, step in the
Stay away from
shit
that shit.
around the needles. I mean,
Also, think about this, folks. People probably aren't even going to be at Twitter HQ now because these are the same.
True, it's remote.
Yeah, so not that not that any of those people are listening to me, but still, yeah, think that through. Think that through. You're dealing with a bunch of nerds who love to work from home. Trust me, I'm one of them.
Yeah, you know what's funny too is like, God, I forgot my thought. Oh, yeah, people are saying like, what if Trump just like goes to fucking Twitter and he's like, give me my account back, Jack? What if he starts like calling Jack up? I want to see what he does. Like, I mean, one person like there was a meme too that was joking like, oh, at real Donald or what was it? It was like MySpace has a new user and it shows Trump going on MySpace. Like,
Well, people in my chat earlier were actually saying like early on in the stream, press 1 if you miss MySpace. So.
Yeah, I fucking love MySpace.
I never used. I remember when it came out because like the news wouldn't stop talking about, but I very faint memory. I was young.
I did have a MySpace, and it was kind of cool, like because you could customize your page with like a music player, and like you could do like you could do like GIFs, like you could totally customize it and just really like pimp it out if you wanted to.
See, now that would get flagged for copyright infringement. People would be putting like edgy music on there, like sex sounds, and it'd be fucking like called, violating terms of service.
There were some of those, like there were some of
Oh,
those.
I bet. Yeah, that's when you could do that shit on the internet. Now you couldn't do that.
Oh hell no. Now you can barely even make like a. Now you can barely even like make a crass joke on Twitter without being banned. So.
Yeah. The internet's so cocked. It is so cocked now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that there's apparently, I know in England, I heard there's like rumors of a trucker like strike. I don't know if that's
Truckers rise up.
Yeah, I heard. Like I'm on 4chan, I'm seeing some conversations about that.
I feel like we've had threats of like a trucker strike before though too.
I mean, right now would be particularly, with everything being COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
Hashtag We Are Trump is trending. You know what that reminds me of, Alex?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Hashtag or We Are for Trump.
Yeah, man, I miss those days.
Speaking of those days, I saw that article you posted. The one of the stickers going up in State College?
Yeah. Do you know who it is?
I have an idea of who it could be. Might be one of the usual suspects. Because, oh, MySpace is trending on Twitter. That's funny. Yeah, we've had some instances at Penn State where, I don't know if I told you about this, Sam, but what some of the more extreme people will do is they will put up stickers of like far right groups, white nationalist groups, all these other like disgusting type groups that nobody likes, and then the media talks about it and
Oh,
they
of
try to hunt them
course.
down, find out who did it. But apparently, this person put like 50 of those stickers up. Like shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. Is like with all these like Wignat, like a lot of it is a LARP to make like regular normal people look bad, if that makes sense.
Well, it's some people. A lot of them are people that get a bit lost, and so they go off the deep end trying to find some
Sure.
meaning. And it's other people LARPing to be edgy. It's a bunch of weird things, but it's never ever people I like or want to be friends with. It's always people that are just weird, to say the least.
Yeah.
And then some people they're generally just angry people, hateful people. It's weird. Don't like it. But it's just weird. We've had that twice happen, so I'll look more into that, see if there's any clues I can guess better who it was. Oh, but let's see what people in the chat are saying. They want you to stream on D Live, and thanks, Fat Keck Boy, for constantly plugging our D Live. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I've been I've been working on getting my D Live account set back up. The thing is Restream just changed like a bunch of stuff on their end. So like I have to work on getting like my keys on like getting my stream keys reset on Restream and doing
What did they
that.
change? I'm curious.
They changed like you can't just go live now. You have to create like an event, and they changed like some layout things, um, and then um,
I hope they actually change the fact that the thing fucking works instead of crashing like it was for me.
that too. That's what that. So that's why I stopped using it and stopped using D Live, because that's what was going on.
Like, I actually really like D Live as a platform because it's pretty well laid out, works very well. It's just not enough people are on there. I mean, when Purge was on, there seemed to be the peak, and then
Well,
it's
part of the thing too is there's really no playback. Um,
yeah. Well, no, there is, but very limited time, which is annoying.
yeah, it's only 3 days, which is I will give them this though. It's easier to download streams than it is for YouTube. Which, by the way, the reason people are hearing an echo on my stream is because I am literally ripping the audio from my system audio and recording into a program, because
Hmm.
otherwise I'll have to wait like a full 24 hours just to download the YouTube video so I can extract the audio.
I'm
Because
looking here, and it's actually about 25 at least days back. You can view somebody's streams because I'm looking at some people that stream regularly on there. And so it looks like they may have upped that a bit. But it's still a live streaming thing. I mean, you could get a video that you've already pre-recorded and then just live stream it, and it works that way. But it's, not all there. It feels like a more basic version of Twitch, which isn't bad in some ways, but it's definitely limited. But I overall like it, but I don't like, of course, the censorship crap. That's the ultimate problem. But Twitch is the worst. I mean, Jesus. Or I think they were the first, or was it? Which one was the first to start banning Trump? It was either Twitch or Facebook. I think it might have been Twitch.
Yeah,
But Twitch is awful.
It might have been Twitch, which is surprising because like Trump's not even on there. Although
Well, he's on there. It's just he's not active,
Well,
and
yeah.
not a lot of people know about it. But Twitch, the reason that it was like made some sense is because Twitch is just, like Alex said, they're probably the worst. I mean, they ban literal words. Do they still have that thing with the music? Like, if you have music, they take you down real quick.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
like if you had it before it was banned on there, and like everyone had it, you can get your entire channel deleted for shit that just got added months ago. Well, apparently they want to take down Fox News.
Who?
The left.
From what though? Do they want to take off cable subscriptions?
Yeah. CNN.
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing rumbles about taking Newsmax and OAN off of cable providers. They're gonna go for it. I mean, that's a harder battle to fight, but they'll go for it.
Oh yeah, no, that will really piss off the normies.
Yeah, I hate to say it. You need it. You need this.
Yeah, like my mom doesn't use like fucking Facebook or Twitter, where you touch fucking Tucker Carlson, she'll be very upset.
Exactly. Now, I think Fox is actually the right target to go for, because while their audience has shrunk since the election, there's still a lot of people that fucking are on it. So,
I love this.
yeah, I wouldn't mind Fox going down.
I love these two headlines from Vox. It shows how biased they are. Post this in memes.
I still love their fucking thing where they blame Gamergate. That was the best one. Oh, I think I've seen it. Yeah, riots are destructive, dangerous, and scary, but can lead to serious social reform. So they're progressive. Riots are progressive. Every person who forced their way into the Capitol should be held arrested and lock them all up. Oh, God. It's written by the same dude, too. That's the best part. It's not only Vox, but they're both written by, was this Jermaine Lopez?
Something like that.
Dude, it's bad. Cancer. See if there's anything else to talk about. If not, we'll close out for tonight. And I'll continue downloading our live streams to save them. But yeah, you got to read that Twitter blog post. The hoops they jump through, the mental gymnastics they use to justify a risk of further incitement of violence is insane. Like, literally him saying I'm not going to be at the inauguration, they said was inciting violence. It's what they're literally saying. All right, looks like we are running dead air, so I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Unless people in chat have things to say. No, doesn't look like it.
No, just what a hell of a week, huh, guys?
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse from here. Things, I think Sargon's extremely spot on when he says things are going to go to shit really quickly. Things are going to go down quickly, and it's not just going to be the state. It's going to be the corporations, the corpos, the megacorps, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Libertarians, I am laughing at you right now. You know that maybe this is a good time to make the fucking libertarian video, because you people, you need to grow up now because the oppression isn't coming from just the state. It's coming from the fucking megacorps.
Uh-huh.
Like it's bad. You need to wake up. You need to wake up, pick a side, and get ready because it's gonna get worse. Do you have anything you want to say to the libertarians, Alex, before we close out?
I think we're good.
Yeah, all right. Well, if that's it then. Thank everybody for tuning in. Follow us wherever you can. The links are in the description below while you still can. And of course,
Real-
follow Sam. He's awesome too.
Real quick
And
before we do go though, I do want to just double check real quick because I don't think anybody sent me any Streamlabs donations, but let me go ahead and play them if there were.
mhm.
Again, for the people who donated earlier to the stream earlier today, that was Kevin Dugan and Fat Kick White. I want to thank you guys for donating earlier. I really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and see if there are any new donations, and there don't appear to be, but anyway, folks, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and being on with me for my second stream today. And I don't know, I probably will do a show tomorrow, but it might be a lighter show. Just because we've covered a lot of the news already as it's been happening. But yeah.
Also, real quick, guess what's the #1 app in the App Store right now on Apple?
Parlor.
Yep, is #1. We are #1.
Yeah.
Ironic.
Throwback meme.
All right, folks. Well, I think it's a good time to, as Alex Jones would say, end transmission. So from all of us here at NGC
Yes.
Studios, have a good night. God bless. God save this great nation. God, freedom, Alexi, in that order. And I will see you most likely tomorrow on the Whitfield Report. And I'll turn it over to you guys over on Verse Media so you guys can sign off.
Yep, thanks everybody for tuning in. Alex Jones was fucking right again. And